but I don't give a fuck.
Next song is called Becoming. I want to see you ride. So what?
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Give you a couple minutes to get on here. Enjoy some early Pantera with the soundboard audio.
A long time ago, I never knew myself. By the memory of share of this year. Come on! No walk, no swallow, no wake up. Fights and walk running, completed. I've been coming more than a man. More than you ever want living. Including to rise without treason. I'm born again. The snake side. Becoming. God's like mix up. Come on.
Welcome, everyone.
Allin, I'm born again. Sing it louder. And that is God's sign. Thank you very much. One love.
Yeah. Dude.
I'm born again. Sing it loud. Come on. Fucking right. One more time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the stream. Tonight, I have a very special guest. Someone that I thought was worthy of some early Pantera with soundboard audio. Mr. Ryan Stasik. Dude, I've been waiting for this one for a long time. How are you, brother?
After that, I'm way better now. I mean, Dimebags, that sounded like an evil possessed cat during that solo. That was sick. That brings me back.
You know, that's one of the things that I go whenever I'm on stage with a band and I feel like something heavy like that, and I feel like I have no licks. Sometimes I like to revert back to the Dimebag stage and just play feedback in the amps and just harmonics and just squeal like that. And like that who would come up with that solo? But it fits perfectly. I don't think he frets a single note.
Probably not. It's amazing. It's amazing. And it really brought me back. I mean, Pantera, I might be the band I've seen the most, to be honest, if we're counting.
Is that true?
I mean, I lived in Kalamazoo, Michigan in the 90s when everybody was touring in hockey arenas, and Kalamazoo's right in between Chicago and Detroit. So every band that leaves Detroit to go to Chicago or vice versa, they're playing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at Wing Stadium in Kalamazoo. And Pantera toured through the entire 90s. I mean, I felt like they played there at least twice or four times a year. And Jake, who's also from Niles, Michigan, I'm sure he was we were probably, before we even knew each other, raging at plenty of those shows without even knowing it.
Oh my God. So I hit the nail right on the head.
Yes. When I was looking through when I went through a huge YouTube wormhole today, I can't believe I couldn't find anything specifically on video from Kalamazoo Wing Stadium except for interviews. And one of the interviews, and I was at the show, was Deftones, White Zombie, and Pantera. And I think it was 92 or 93. And MTV, it was a British MTV girl was touring. And I was like, oh my God, I used to play hockey there. So, I mean, that hit home hard.
Yeah, dude, that's fantastic. I was thinking about what to start the show with. I always like to try to surprise my guests. And, one of the things that just took me when I first, got into your band was that you guys have that heavy side. And, I came from that total background. And from I don't know, 6th grade through all the way deep into college. I mean, I went to every Ozfest, saw Pantera every time they came through, saw, Slayer, Sepultura, all those bands. And I was just like, I bet he's a Pantera fan.
100%.
Dude, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Right before the pandemic, I went up to Charlotte and saw Phil. I mean, basically Pantera, all the Pantera songs, Ministry, Primus, and Slayer. Before, it had to be maybe February before. It was amazing. Now, of course, I don't go in the pit anymore. I used to live in that thing. I just loved the contact and the aggression, and people are looking out for you. Most of them, 80%, 90% of the people are looking out for you in there. But there's nothing like it, man. It's adrenaline. It's intense.
Oh, dude, yeah. I think the most banged up I ever got, I think I saw Pantera at Towson University at the Reinventing the Steel tour. So I guess, what's that, 2001? Got a boot to the face, bloody chin, the whole deal. But that used to be the sign of a good time. Now
battle scars.
That used to be a thing, How else are you going to know?
Yeah, and no one was suing the bands back then, for things like that.
When did that start?
I don't know.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a thing. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I know that I've taken a little 2-week hiatus. I took a break 2 weeks before, and last week I was skiing with my family. I miss you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Mods, I see you out there, and thanks for all the hard work you're doing over at the website too. I'm seeing so much activity. I just want you guys to know I appreciate you, haven't forgot about you, and this is going to be a special night. So I asked Ryan, like I ask everybody, to one, we're going to take some questions, but two, to bring a handful of tracks that mean something to him. So yes, Chris, I did see Pantera at Towson. That is absolutely correct. Chris Schaefer. So where would you like to start, my friend, and why? Actually, you know what? Before you do that, I want to ask you something.
Yeah, bring it.
How the hell is Charleston?
I was 65 and sunny today, and I went for a walk on the beach. But I'm not rubbing it in. I'm not rubbing it in. It was dreary and cold for days. There was no sunshine, and the sun came out today, and it was just like we rejoiced. And I listened to a lot of like hardcore and punk and older rock music, and took a good stroll down the beach just to get some steps, get outside. Been locked inside for a while.
Yeah, I hear you. I know we talked off camera a little bit about it before, but for those that don't know, I lived in Charleston for a few years, and those were very, very special times in my life. And anytime I get the opportunity to go back down there, I cherish it, because that is truly a special little spot. If you guys have never been there, that's the spot. It's God's own backyard, in my opinion.
Yeah, I saw a kid. He was surfing, and he was just in a bathing suit with a rash guard, and I was like, dude, that takes balls. He's like, or no balls. they were up in his stomach. But there were people out, man. They had the wetsuit out. They were surfing. It was great. It was nice.
That's it. All right, let's jump into tracks. What you got for me?
Let's start with Maynard. Let's start with Tool, because Tool is my. I mean, it's hard to pick a favorite band, but if I had to pick top 5, I mean, without a doubt, indubitably, Tool is up there. And I was fortunate enough to see them at Wing Stadium in the 90s. Yeah. And it's a concert I'll never forget. There's a funny backstory to it. The video is not the clip we're going to show, but it's something that I think is worthy of talking about and discussing, because it's pretty fucking awesome what Maynard does and what the whole band does, and the poise and the professional. It's crazy. So anyway, I went up. I was driving up from Notre Dame with my roommates, and I was like, let's go see Tool, not thinking, of course, that the show is going to be sold out. Like an idiot, just rolling up, I think drinking in our car. It's like, we'll be fine. We'll just go up and get tickets. Walk up and they're like, yeah, you dumbass, the show's been sold out the whole time. And so we hit the epitome low. We're like, oh, this is awful. We're walking back. We're like, what are we going to do? And I played hockey in high school, and I was a center, and my left wing, his name was Jared Shepard. He was working security. He's like, Stasik? I'm like, Shepard? He's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, we're trying to go to the show. And he's like, come here.
He's like, dude, get the fuck in here.
He snuck us in, and I remember he's like, and I knew the locker rooms. I knew I used to play hockey there, so it's Wing Stadium. So the people I was with, we just sprinted, went through the medical tent and everything, and all of a sudden we're on the ice rink or the floor, and we got in and we saw the show, and it was mind blowing. It was unbelievable. The screen, the videos, the music, and I still remember most of the set list playing Opiate towards the end, which was one of my favorite songs. And just
what year was this again?
97. I think this is March 4th, 1997.
Oh, you have the date.
Tour. Yeah, I went through like setlist.com because I wanted to remember everything that I went and saw. And Tool was one of them. 9 Inch Nails, Nirvana. I mean, the list goes. Pantera hundreds of times. The list goes on. And I was looking at the dates because I wanted to check out some of the set lists. My first Fish show was actually in Kalamazoo as well at Wing Stadium, too. So this Tool show it blew me away. I've always been a fan of the Odd Meter. I've listened to these songs hundreds and hundreds of times, and each time listening to each part and seeing how they write and how everything works and fits and how powerful it is too. And you gotta love Maynard too. It's a character, and what we're gonna watch. Do you want me to say what it is? We discuss what it is, or let people just watch?
No, you should tell them what they're watching. But real quick, I just want to say, and you know this, and people watching this channel know this too. I feel the exact same way about Tool. I mean, there are only a handful of bands that I don't care what's going on. If they are touring and they come, I go. You know, and like no matter what, it's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
And there are even fewer of those bands that the entire time everybody's standing. It's so loud you can't hear the person next to you, and everyone is screaming every lyric and pounding their fist. And I just don't know how many bands still do that, where it's still like that. And I got to see them when they came through DC right before the pandemic. So maybe it was, I don't know, November or something.
It was, because I saw the Atlantic City show.
Did you? Okay.
I brought my wife, yeah. That was on my list for us to must-see together. Tool was top 3.
Yeah, so they were going to come through Baltimore back in like March, and I was going to take my wife, and I was just trying to play it nice, because she is totally not into all the things that I'm into. And I was like, if it's not even for the music, like, it's like musical theater, the way it's set up and the way Maynard is, and like you have to just experience it, because I don't think she's ever been to a show with a vibe like that.
Yes.
And that is like one of the, I mean, again, it's like the top 2 or 3 bands that when live music comes back, like they must tour and I must go.
Yes, absolutely. And this is kind of a funny story too, because my wife, who is not a huge metal fan, or she doesn't get into the heavy stuff as much as I do. She started listening to it before we were going to go see the shows in Atlantic City, and she sent me a hilarious text. She goes, so Tool, lots of unfavorable noises. So, but here's the funny part. Here's the funny part. She was listening to like Lateralis, or she was listening to it on shuffle, like, and she kept getting just the minute and a half, like ions, just like the noise. Yeah. She's like, what is this? It's not even music. There's no vocals. I'm like, how random that you would get these small interlude tracks, and then when she saw it, we were 10th row dead center. She looked at me.
So she got the kick drum.
And we were really lucky too. There was nobody, for some reason, on her side by like 2 seats. And when she gets down, she moves. She dances in like 4. I'm like, you don't get it. Usually it's shoulder to shoulder, the good old days, and you respect your neighbor's space and you rock. But like she had almost like a whole row. And she's like, I get it. I fucking get it. Yeah. I was like, yeah, that's not normal either right there. Usually, but it was an amazing experience. I'm so happy we got to knock that off the list.
All right, we'll set up this clip.
All right, so I'm not exactly sure what the date is. This is early because, as Tool changed the stage setup for Maynard, he used to be out front. So these are the earlier days. Yeah. A fan decides to have, I don't know, maybe the greatest moment of his life, and maybe it still is, run up on stage, and Maynard... I don't need to tell you what Maynard does. The thing that I'm amazed about the most I will tell you, is that when he goes up to him and he shows him love, and then he, with his jiu-jitsu or whatever he is on the MMA, he takes him down, wraps the cord around his neck, and then the band and him never miss a beat, and they continue the whole song. I think it's Push It. And this is just a clip, maybe like 4 minutes, but it's super intense, and I just get a kick out of it.
I don't think you can do that anymore either.
That's what I'm saying. Someone will sue the band, right?
All right, let's do it, man. So I know of this clip, and I've seen pieces of it, but like I don't think I've watched the whole thing through in years. So this is a treat. Let's do it.
Takes a little while for the guy to come up, so we might just enjoy some cool. Yeah. I think he's painted blue too. See how much the production has increased over the years, huh?
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Yeah, pistol squats. Is that true, Chris Hazard?
Yeah, there's an interview of he talks about why he did. I mean, he's like, it's my fucking stage. I don't know if you're a crazy person. I don't know what you're going to do. So, he took him down. Rightfully so, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
Still singing. Like Spinal Tap, the guy just puts his fist up.
This really is so nuts to imagine.
He's got the cord wrapped around his neck, and he never misses a beat. Like the band just keeps crushing.
Is the guy hitting him?
I think he's rocking out.
Even better.
Nope, not this time, buddy. So Maynard just has him subdued. He goes on Joe Rogan and talks about this whole experience.
So he's still on top of it.
He still has him down. And I think he holds him down for a few more minutes. The video doesn't go that long, though.
Dude. He's just sitting. And the band just keeps going.
So I guess they were supposed to have a guest singer during this whole part. He's like massaging his back. Everything's gonna be okay.
You need him in the balls a little bit. He's just scratching his beard. Oh my God!
Now there's so much I love about that video, about what happened. I mean, he takes him down. I know he trains in jiu-jitsu and other MMA, but that's badass.
Yeah.
And then he's got him, and then he contains the guy. Because who knows? I mean, there's crazy people out there. You just mentioned it before with Dimebag. Who knows when something tragic like that's going to happen? But and the band, I mean, they crush. They crush the whole time. It's a pretty epic video.
That is wild. It's just so hard to imagine doing that now. But at first I thought the fan was fighting back. Then it seemed like he had the best day ever.
I think he was really enjoying himself. He's like, I'm grappled by Maynard, and this is my favorite band. Maybe it was maybe he tells that story. I was reading through the comments. The comments are pretty funny. They're like, this guy's a dad somewhere telling this same story at Thanksgiving, Christmas every year. That one time I ran up on stage and Maynard tackled me. Yeah, we heard, Dad.
Yeah. Oh my God! Have you ever had anything even close to that? How many? I mean, you had people charge the stage, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've been hit with a ton of beers. Our fans are aware of that. I've had pedals. I've been hit in the chest, the head, everything. Glow sticks was a stupid little phase for a while where people were chucking glow sticks a lot. Never had anybody tackle or attack anyone, but we have had some situations where like a kid pretty messed up. Our crew aggressively took him off of the stage. And one time I was almost a little concerned. I was like, Jesus, I hope that kid's okay. Like, it could have been pretty bad. But I mean, when you don't know what's going to happen when someone's charging the stage or charging someone, they're not supposed to be there. Who knows what their intent is? We also had one time too. This is a story. A naked girl, clearly high on psychedelics, tried to rip the snake off, undo the snake at the front of the stage, or rip wires, and she had to forcefully be taken away by several security members and some of our crew to get her off. She was out of her mind. So stuff like that has happened, but I've never had to take anyone down.
When do we get to do that again? Are you hearing any ripples in the pond?
Oh, dude, I'm an optimist. I'm a very optimistic person, but when this started, I didn't think it was going to go this long. So I don't know. I'm such a day-to-day person. I'm hoping that today is awesome and being grateful for what's ahead. I'm hoping. I mean, I don't know anything, but if the ripples in the pond are speaking to me, the end of the summer seems like there should be at least some, maybe smaller quantity of downsized outdoor festivals happening, or maybe outdoor venues that will just have a limited capacity. So at least some people will be able to come out and, see some live music. I mean, I'm not going to lie, seeing some live music 6 feet apart isn't all that bad. Maybe everybody should stay 6 feet apart from each other.
That's true. You don't always have to pack in there, But I mean, those are some of the best nights ever. Yeah,
I'm hopeful. I do know this. When it does happen, it's going to be fucking insane. It's going to be insane for a long period of time, for months. Whoever your favorite band is, even if they're not your favorite band, when these bands come around and play, and you just are part of that energy and part of that giving back. I mean, I miss that part probably the most. It's great to be with your boys in a room in a circle and playing, but when being on an empty stage and looking to an empty room, that's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, it's wrong.
But to be there and have hundreds of people looking back and giving it to you and you giving it to them, that part, God, I miss that so much. And it's going to be intense.
Yeah, and everybody is going to be touring if they can. If they can get the venues, and it's going to be an absolute free-for-all.
Yeah. Yeah. Another good thing, there's a lot of silver linings to this too. I think a lot of people are writing a lot of good music. A lot of people are meeting a lot other artists that they never would have collaborated with or spoken to, or had the chance to say, "Hey, what are you doing?" "I ain't doing shit. I'm sitting on my ass. Why don't you send me some music?" "Oh, cool. I'll work on it." And I think a lot of collaborations are coming out of it that are probably completely unexpected for some people. So we have that to look forward to.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, especially for someone in my world. I mean, what are the chances that I'd be able to talk to you or anybody else that I get to talk to if everybody was working and everybody was gigging and everybody was on tour? Yeah. I mean, this is like, a really good time for the internet, and it's just, and everybody in the community and everybody that's watching, finding out about music they didn't know about, and there's always a silver lining if you're willing to look for it. But I just want to hear the fucking subwoofers again, man.
Yeah, I mean, how about just the build up, like getting to the parking lot, walking in, seeing the stage, hearing the music, and then when the lights go down, like the wave. Oh, like, I yearn for this. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
Well, everybody, if you're just tuning in here, we have Ryan Stasik with us. Glad to have him. Mods, I see you out there. You're doing an incredible job. Anybody have any questions for the man before we move on? If you see anything in the comments, I don't know if you see anything, I can click on it and put it up on the screen like this, see? I don't know if you see anything at all, but I'll tell you what. Let's do... Or how about this? Playing in a hurricane in Atlanta. Tell us about that.
I got wet. I got wet. No, it was one of those things, man. We COVID had hit and we weren't playing many shows, and we played the Speedway in Georgia, and of course the 2 days that we're going to play, basically a hurricane. I mean, it's not a literal hurricane, but basically the huge storm comes through, and people, instead of being evacuated, they're able to be in their cars, and we're just waiting and waiting, and we want to play. We're like, we have to play. We have to do it. So we probably went on earlier than we should have because it was raining on us sideways, and our gear was getting destroyed. That was the worst part of it. Playing through the rain and everything, that's great, and the energy was awesome. The crowd was great. The amount of money that was ruined in gear and repairs, that part sucked. That part sucked. I mean, we've played on beaches and islands and never been that wet before. In rainstorms, it was pretty brutal, but I mean, I'd do it again, to be honest, just to play. But that when you have old vintage gear, that's the shitty part. Then you gotta. You
can't just go grab another.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not easily replaced.
Heiser wants to know if you remember Sunrise Kickball.
How do I remember? I'm the GOAT. I'm the GOAT. I'm thinking. I hung up my jersey at 9-1, but I'll be honest. Who knows? I'm not saying never, but maybe because of the year off and my the way I'm being much healthier, maybe I'll come out of retirement, play a little. Are you familiar with the Sunrise Kickball?
I'm not, but I'm friends with Heiser's, and so tell me about the Sunrise Kickball.
All right, so I by no means am taking credit for inventing kickball. By it was out at High Sierra Music Festival on the West Coast. They're the OGs. I just brought the game to summer camp in the Midwest. So every night, you push through on Friday. In my later years, I didn't push through. I'd actually go home and go to bed and sleep for 4 hours and come out and kick ass. Yeah. So you don't have to push through, though it is recommended. And then when the sun comes up, you play kickball out on the stage, and it's crazy. People are cooking bacon behind second base, rolling dice on third. There's trampolines. There's a bunch of dead soldiers of just zombies and books in the outfield that you have to run around. You don't know if they're going to catch it or stand. Like, it's intense. And I'm a hyper competitive person. I hate losing. I'm much more mature. I'm much more mature in my 40s. But like I'm from Pittsburgh. I have my teams. I root for them. I want them to win. I'm loyal to that. And in kickball, I'm intense. I don't want to lose. But it's all in good fun at the end. So who knows, man? This is getting me pretty pumped up. I might come back.
Yeah,
I might come back.
That sounds a little hairy. I like it. Tom Havlin, thanks for the super chat, man. So he wants to know how do you guys put your mashups together? That's actually a really good question. I played in a bunch of cover bands doing the local pay-to-play thing, and mashups were always a hit, and trying to figure out how to put them all together. I felt like every band did them a little differently. How do you guys go about it?
Well, we did it for a decade, and the reason we made Zonky is because I don't think we ever performed any of our mashups correctly live.
Yeah, well, no one does.
Right. So we're like, hey, we've been putting time and effort. Yeah, right. Time and effort for 10 years to do this. Why wouldn't we put out a product of how they're supposed to sound, how they're supposed to be completed and technically performed? Anyway, it's a daunting task because you have to find similar tempos. You have to find even similar keys. and make sure that these songs like Michael Jackson or The Weeknd, I mean, those are high range, for singers. You just got to find to see if that'll even work. That's the first part. And then if they make sense, and some of them don't make sense at all. And that's the beauty of putting those together. So it's really fun and creative to take songs that you would never, ever imagine hearing together and putting them together. And then you get in a room with the six of each other and you keep arranging and mashing them up until you figure out what's working. Luckily with a 6-piece, we have so much instrumentation that you can, it's not a trio. I can lay out, I can do the bass line for the hip hop part and they can do the metal part.
Right.
No.
Right.
And after 10 years, you get a little better at it and a little more creative. Start running out of ideas. I'll tell you what, though, our fans never cease to amaze me. Every year they came with mashup costumes. And I was blown away at the originality every year that people came and just the creativeness that happened from the fans' perspective of showing up to the concerts.
Dude, your fans are tremendous.
They're the best.
Like, they are. I have been so blown away by the experiences that I've had talking to them through this whole channel and exploring your music and everything like that. You guys have some seriously loyal and wild people. And I miss them terribly. No, I dig it, man. I dig it. They're like kind, but with that edge, and they're just awesome. I can't tell you how many people reached out to me, and it's just I feel like I don't know how you guys did it, but I feel like you have like a real tribe, like you really do. Like I totally believe what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's for them too. Every show's for them. That's where the magic happens. That's what I'm saying before. I mentioned I miss it so much. I miss the give and take of performing and where's this going to go? Is this next song? We don't know what's going to happen. Is it going to get dark? Is it going to be metal? Is it going to get heavy? Is it going to be ambient? Is it going to be jazz? I mean, I don't know. But, they help steer that ship.
So, how often do you let Jake play drums?
Dan Ruzynski. What's up, Dan? Jake's. I wouldn't say Jake. I'd say they're equal. But Jake
Chris,
pretty much.
Chris is a bad motherfucker, man.
He's a monster. But I mean, let's be honest. Jake can play every instrument better than most people of anything. The guy's he breathes, eats, lives music. I was having a conversation with a friend who might be listening right now. I mean, since Jake was before he was 10, I mean, he's just music, an encyclopedia, and YouTube is his favorite thing on the tour bus, and it's always a concert or reading about a band and learning about the band before, and look at this old footage, and it's just constantly music. The guitar is always in his hands, and it's nonstop, and it's beautiful, and you can tell because when he picks it up, he's a fucking master, and it's a beautiful thing to watch.
And his memory of what he's internalized is unbelievable.
Vocabularies.
I was watching something. Somebody sent me something, like the day after Eddie Van Halen died, and he was on something, and they asked him about like 15 tunes, and he just off the cuff was remembering all these intricate little parts with all the phrasing that like it would take anybody 3 weeks to get down, just to get all the little pushes, like he's done each one of those 1,000 times, and it was like just completely internalized.
Yeah, it never ceases to amaze me. He's a wizard. It's amazing.
Mark wants to know if you can tour with Mo. He wants to see it happen.
I'll ask Al. He's my neighbor now. He's coming back down here in March. I'll ride
back
my
to
bike
Charleston.
By. Yeah. He's leaving New York. He's got a house here, so he lives up the street.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
I would love that. I would just love the tour. Put us with anybody. Let's play some music.
Well, speaking of tour, we'll do one more, then we'll play some tunes.
Okay.
So, Ibido Read the Book wants to know how crazy the Disco Biscuits show was tour when you split the sets in 2006.
Yeah, that was called the Dumb Tour. The DUMB, Disco Biscuits and Humphreys. Thanks. Of course, it was pretty wild. It was 2006. We were still young. We were still going after it. We partied. We had some good times. We played some pranks on each other. I think we still owe them for one of the pranks they did to us. Gone but not forgotten.
That's right.
We're competitive. Humphreys wants to win. No, I love those guys. I was just talking to Mark the other day. We were supposed to do. I think it's being delayed. We're hosting a game show for Positive Legacy. So staying involved and on downtime and hanging out. So the good times. I don't know if there's any scary stories that I can share, but indeed we had a good time.
Don't. Let's leave it to the imagination.
Mystery.
Yeah. All right. So now what tracks do you want to do? You got another one coming. You got a few more. You pick, sir.
I can't see them. So what do you have on there? Do you have should we talk with G.G. Allin?
G.G. Allin it is.
Yeah. And for those who don't know who G.G. Allin is, just Google it. Go down that wormhole. I think there's a short documentary even on him that's like 26 minutes long. There's this. People weren't talking about mental health then at all.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly tragic life. But the reason I picked this song is after I was I love when Jake sends me a text message or an email, and it's usually a YouTube link or it's a song or it's definitely something musical, and he's like, Stasik, we need to do this tune and you need to sing it. And everybody knows, and I'm sure there'll probably be some comments and stuff too. I don't sing. I'm terrible, but when I do, I'll go for it, whether it's in a British accent or it's or if it's rap or if it's punk rock. Usually I prefer the punk rock. So he wants me to do this G.G. Allin song. And this is 1984 before shit got crazy.
Yeah.
Before he was naked and beating people up, beating himself up and throwing poop at people. And like it gets dark in the later years. But this is G.G. Allin, and this is a good song. It's a good song. And Humphreys might be doing it in the future, and I might sing it. So
nice.
It's a promo video from 1984. I thought it'd be a nice alley to go down.
Starting right from the beginning?
Yeah, live fast, die fast.
Let's do it.
Does the video start right in the beginning? I can't remember.
It starts right about 8 seconds.
Stay out of here! We want no more troublemakers around here! Well, you ain't heard the last of me yet, buddy! Go on, will ya? Hey, how's it going, man? What's up, dude? What's happening with you check guys? Out these girls over here. All right.
Like Nicky
I'm
Six.
gonna go over and talk to them.
Yeah, dude.
Let's check it out.
Yeah. First house. Yep. First house right in back. Wow. Really cool. It's gonna be massive cake party.
I have never ever seen this.
I did not think I'm so good. That's sick. Oh shit.
Low budget. I like low budget. Low budget filming.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, we're gonna find some action tonight, or what? Any wild women around, or what? We gotta find some women, and we gotta find some boobs. We gotta really go out and do this. Oh, it's a really good party. Really good party. Back in Somalia. Let's go find some action. All right, let's check it out. It should be great.
We go down all the roads.
And I love the fashion. I'm not gonna lie. 80s. Hands down my favorite decade for many, many reasons.
Yeah.
Denim vest, no shirt. Good look. Good look. Strong.
Should bring it back.
Oh, I'm not scared.
I believe you.
So I think we are. There is an actual promo video here. I think we're getting close to the song. And it's Jake sent it to me, man. It's a killer song, man. It's a killer song.
Here we go. Old Marshall full stack.
Me and the boys we're living for the night. We're looking for adventure. We're looking for a bloody fight. Always on the run. When we're gonna We're never slowing down. We're gonna party tonight. We don't care about nothing. We're living like rats in a sewer pipe. You never stop us now.
I think it's hilarious that if you guys cover this.
I mean, I did this for Jake. He's like, it sounds like you. He's like, okay.
Dude.
I'll get into some G.G. Allin for the fans.
Now they're going to be expecting it.
I mean, we talked about it, so it can happen. I'm down.
Hellbound on a course craft, living in the alley with the rest of the trash.
I mean, I love music like this. Simple, raw, power chords. Chords, I mean, sure.
Absolutely.
I only sing in British accent. So
Is that true?
No, that's true. Jake would tear up a solo, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Live fast, die fast. Don't worry about no crash.
Derek Smalls, man.
Little Spinal Tap there.
Yeah.
It does look like Nick Tripton on drums. It does look like Nick Tripton.
Me and the boys are, we're living for the night. We're looking for adventure. We're looking for a bloody fight. You never stop us now. You're so ready to run in the rain. We're looking for some chicks. We're looking for some kicks. And we're living fast and we're living.
Yeah, this guy really went another direction, didn't he?
Yeah, it's tragic. It's crazy. But again, you know, mental health. You know, we weren't talking about it, and we're just talking about it now. And a lot of musicians and people in general suffering, especially now with COVID and being stuck at home. I mean, it's a thing. It's an issue, and I don't think
Especially
back
now.
then, you know, people, just his whole life. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's a nice thing to, you know, after the Tool stuff, you know, get a little G.G. Allin, go back. You know, I was 8 years old when that was happening. I wasn't listening to that type of music then, but I'll play it now.
Yeah, dude. I did not see that one coming. So how did you get into the habit of only singing in a British accent?
The first couple times I did it, I was singing in a British accent, so I said I might as well stay the course.
Might as well do this forever.
Yeah, it's just my thing, you know. Just a little taste.
I dig it. Well, let's talk about Doom Flamingo.
Yeah.
So, give me the background.
Okay, so I moved to Charleston while my wife was pregnant with Amelia, our first daughter, at the end of 2012 from Chicago. And Mary Welch had some family down here. Some of my family started migrating down here from Pittsburgh, and I didn't have any friends. And I'd been living here, and, you know, I was on the road so much that when I'd come home, I was just with my wife and kid, and I wasn't going out. I wasn't doing anything.
So wait, how did you stumble upon Charleston? Did you say your wife was from there or not?
No, she's from Knoxville, Tennessee, but she had family that was down here, and we knew that
kids, family, yeah,
family support system, and we're beach people. I mean, I love to ski. I'll do some winter activities, but I don't like the cold or traffic. So we made the move, and then I had a gig. Brendan and I are in a band called the Omega Moose, which is like an 80s electro funk cover band with our Canadian friends, James Guitar Shields, from the New Deal
Love
epic
it.
band.
Love it.
Huge influence on me, great friends. And Jamie was like, I don't do one-offs. You know, I'm not coming down for one gig. so I told Vince, our manager, and Hank Wharton, who works with Doom Flamingo, they got their heads together and said, hey, let's put together a group. And that group, the six of us, was Doom Flamingo. And when we got together, long story short, I mean, we went. It accelerated. The chemistry was there. We went to the studio. We put pen to paper. We wrote tunes, and we chose that direction. All these guys are players. They play every genre, and they play it amazingly. They can do jazz. They can do hip hop. They can do soul. They can do Motown funk. I mean, all of
Yeah.
it. And we were like, what's going to be our band for our originality? And it just synthwave, it hit us, just this synth pop. But we wanted to have the yin and the yang. We wanted to
love
have
it.
the dark side, so we could, and then we wanted the Flamingo side, because you get a little taste of both. And we've been really busy down here because we all live in the same town. And while we're locked down, we've been writing. We've got an EP coming out, our Flamingo EP coming out, the Doom EP's out, and then we have a whole new record I'm laying bass tracks down for currently, like 16 new songs. So
that is a lot.
Yes, these guys churn out some tunes, and it's amazing to be part of the process.
Wow. Okay. Well, can we play some?
Yeah, let's since we've been on the heavier side, let's play Somebody, which is the Flamingo video.
Yeah.
And this is more of that summertime Flamingo vibes. And Kanika Moore, our lead singer, I mean, she's special. And I want the world to know how special she is. She's an amazing human being and an extremely talented vocalist. Everybody in the group, and they're good people, man. It's so great when you get to hang out with such good people, and then you get to make art with them.
Well, and real quick, how long has all this been going on?
2018 was our first gig, and then we started writing. So 2019 is when we really put some wheels on the project and kind of had a direction. Yeah. And then of course 2020 there was some great momentum. I mean, we were going to play some festivals. We were getting some legs, and then COVID came over and said, "Go home."
Yeah. Let's do it. We'll add it to the stream here. So this is Somebody. All right. You tell me how far to go, just from the beginning?
Yeah. It's only 4 minutes.
Let's do it. Yes. Bass sounds huge in this, man.
Thank you.
Sounds great.
The Lakeland, our home base. Like roller skating down A1A, palm trees, sunset.
That I'll keep playing it. That is exactly what it makes me think of.
Yeah.
But no, your bass sound on this, you're totally nailing the whole vibe. It's not like too super trebly or attacky. It's like the big, just fat, just like you're making it's a bright sunny day. It's the whole thing,
Thank you. It's those dead strings.
Dude, hey, it sounds like a bass. What they should do. Yeah, let's keep going. Yeah, fishing, I'm feeling that too.
Compliment?
Yeah, that's yeah. I don't know. Yeah, she's great. Thanks, Paul.
Mike Quinn on sax.
Mike Quinn. Yeah, the light game is awesome.
He's at the Poorhouse in Charleston.
I was going to ask you that.
Poorhouse. Now playing to an empty room, but this is the first time we had played in a long time. We're so excited just to play.
Oh yeah, dude, you guys sound good. I mean, she is
She's amazing. Amazing.
I have always wanted to play in a band with a female fronted powerhouse. That's always like been the one thing I've always wanted to do.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And I'm not just saying this. I get chills every night from her performance. I mean, she commands it. She owns it. It's just it blows me away each time, and I'm just blessed to be a part of it. And I'm really excited to help spread the word of this band, this project, and for Kanika too. Which leads me, I have to mention this. We have a new single titled "And Ready to Mingle," which is fantastic because someone showed me an article. I can't remember who showed me, from the New York Times, that dating and people are ready to mingle, like they haven't had physical touch or anything.
It's gonna be weird when it goes back.
Yeah, but this single, where like it's made to be out on the dance floor and tapping your toes and rubbing up each other and dancing and so it is premiering on the 18th, and I know on Jam On XM on the 19th at 10 a.m. 2 and 6 p.m.
Where are you gonna be premiering it?
I wish I knew that.
I was gonna say, you gotta bring your links, man.
I know, man. I gotta bring my links. I might have to text management here to make sure where it is on the 18th. I know it's on our Instagram and our all of our pages. You can just follow Doom Flamingo on any of the socials or .com, and it'll have the appropriate information. I just play bass, but I should know that.
Well, make sure you shoot it to me, and I'll paste it on my stuff too for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So and you know, like, real quick, sorry. It's so nice. It's so nice. This is one thing that COVID has done for me that I'm super stoked about. I was a person who, when I contributed music, I didn't have Ableton. I didn't have an interface. I didn't have my microphone set up. I wrote riffs when I was like, oh, I'm going to see the guys. I'll just show them. Or I'll put it on the phone. I'll do it. And because I was locked down at home, now I'm able to record and do things here in my little home studio.
And you dig it.
And then I dig it, but I'm able to get all of my anger out in my punk rock band, the sexiness out in Doom Flamingo, the chaos with Humphreys. You know, it's great to, all I want to do is be a rad dad, a great husband, and a musician, and be nice to people. And like, this is so nice that it's able to do that here on a at least professional sounding, bass lines going across, recorded good enough to be on actual records instead of just sending, phone copies.
No, it's so true. We talked about silver linings before. I mean, I couldn't agree more. And the way the technology is right now, I mean, you can get incredible sounding stuff and just keep sending it back and back and forth and back and forth. And, if it's mixed right and you know what you're doing, I mean, you can get pretty damn close, and you can absolutely put stuff out there that you're proud of and makes you feel like
so
you're
much
doing
to
it.
learn. So much to learn. It's just like, it's endless, and that excites me too. I'm like, ooh, what am I going to figure out today?
I hear you, Michael Frederick. You are welcome. Glad to have you.
PRS,
All right,
nice.
Yeah, so that reminds me. So Paul has a band. The whole reason the way I met Paul is because we had the same booking agent here in Maryland, and I started going out to see him playing shows, saying like, hey, guitars should come with a way to learn them, blah 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 blah, and he kept saying no and blah blah blah. But the point I'm getting to is that he built this tremendous band. I don't know if you've ever seen his band, but he has the Granger brothers as the rhythm section, and he's got this girl Mia, who's your vocalist name? I'm so sorry.
Kanika Moore.
Yeah, I forget Mia's last name, but she reminds me just like her. And like Paul built a band, like just like that, with like the super rhythm section and like a total female powerhouse, and you just made me think of it.
Nice.
Anyhow,
what's the name of the band? I'm sorry.
It's just the Paul Reed Smith band.
Oh, the Paul Reed Smith band. Okay, got it. Nice.
Yeah,
Bayless,
you know who the Granger brothers are.
Yeah. Bayless,
Yeah.
Bayless is he's a Paul Reed Smith player too.
Yeah, he is. I need to connect with Bayless. You guys are really lucky to have two really tremendous guitar players in your in that band. It's the harmonies and all the things that you guys can do,
Like fire and ice.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And that mix of Bayless's, like that PRS, like warm, smooth humbucker thing, with Jake's more like, attacky. It's I think so much when I listen to bands about not just where you are as far as in the arrangement, but the sounds of each instrument and in the mix and how they all complement. It all goes together, and that blends perfectly. You guys do a freaking great job with that.
Thank you.
Great job. So, we did the Flamingo. What about the Doom?
We can do the Doom. I think that the video we have for Doom is pretty long. If
let's do.
You just want to do a teaser of it or a taste of it? I mean, I ain't doing anything. I'm here,
because you said it's basically two sides. Like
there's a Jekyll and Hyde to it,
Yeah.
with the light is the dark, there's the yin, the yang, so there's the Doom. We gave you a little taste of the Flamingo, roller skating on A1A with those palm trees and Lamborghinis. So let's go to the dark side a little bit and see if we can get
let's give people an idea what it sounds like that haven't heard it.
Yeah.
So we're not going to do the whole 9 minutes, but you tell me where to come in and out.
Well, let's start at the beginning. It's a great place to start. But if people want it, doomflamingo.com or on YouTube too, they can catch, I think the whole sets are on for the Doom set and then a Flamingo set.
So you do it like that? You do sets?
We did. We had 2 nights. I mean, the Poorhouse is family for us here in Charleston. Shout out to the Poorhouse.
Hell yeah.
And they let us come inside and this is, everything's done safely, being tested and everything, COVID protocol. So one day we recorded the Doom session, and then the next day we did the Flamingo. And then later we did a whole cover, like Doom covers, just us doing covers for fun, just to have some promo.
That's awesome. I miss the Poorhouse. So a lot of good shows there.
The best,
and the Music Farm, is it still there?
The Music Farm is boarded up right now.
I'm sure it is.
COVID, yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah. A lot of good shows down there, man. A lot of good shows. All right, here we go. You let me know when is when.
We'll get a couple minutes in, get the feel. I mean, we get a little jam band at the end. We actually jam for a while at the end, so that's why it's ringing into the 9 minute mark there.
Here we go. Oh my God! I can't believe it's the same band. I just want you to know. I love that this is the same group of people, and that you separate the sets. I mean, I almost want you to do this set first.
We did. We actually did. And we released this EP first. So if you go on Spotify, the Doom EP was released first, and the Flamingo one's about to come out. So there's 5 songs on each. So
Okay.
this is the Doom. Here's the Doom.
All right, here we go. Sarah, hope you're doing well out there.
Yeah. Hi, Sarah.
Yeah, the synth.
You
Yeah, this is absolute fire, man. Yeah, Vandy, this is on the list.
Thank you, Phil.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's Thomas Kenny from PK on guitar.
Love it. She is fantastic on the stage. Just the
She owns it. It works good.
and there's no one there,
It's an empty room. That's what I'm saying. She's controlling the camera.
dude. This would be so great. Just love the synth drums.
Stu White on drums.
The hot changes.
And of course, Ross Mogan.
Yeah.
You'll like this next part coming up.
Dude, I bet, man. Yes.
A little taste of the doom.
Dude, I bet I bet that would crush in Charleston.
It's a good time. I mean, we're missing it, man.
I can see myself, I mean, everywhere, but I could see myself at the poorhouse bringing someone that didn't expect it, or just going there for the first time and being like, what the fuck is this?
Well,
And
it's
just being like,
going to
"This is
happen
amazing."
again soon when it comes. And look at this. We even have a graphic comic that came out at issue 1, and we're all characters in it, all 6 of us. And you know, it's a very conceptual band. You know, a lot of thought going moving forward, and kind of trying to put out our identity. You know, Doom and Flamingo. You got to have both sides, and it makes sense. It's weird to at first you're like, I don't get it, but when you see it live, and you're able to float between both sides, it tends to make sense.
No, I understand. Like when you first was like doing whatever, I was like Doom Flamingo. I hadn't heard any of it, obviously, and then now that we've played both, like I definitely get it, and I love that. I love that artistic part too, like the different costumes, the different lights, you know, like the actual movements on stage, like they're a different ego, like a different personality. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. And if you're just learning from this show here of Doom Flamingo, the XM 10 a.m. It's the 19th. I know our new single's being released there, and then hopefully everywhere.
On which channel?
XM, Jam On.
Okay.
which is still a channel. It wasn't. I know 29 turned to Fish, but Jam On is still a channel on XM.
Gotcha.
I wish I knew the actual number.
Well, when it comes out, definitely ping me. I'll
I
help
will.
share it.
I definitely want to thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Oh, dude, anything I can do. My pleasure. You kidding me? I think that's fucking awesome. Yeah, right. Like, it's got that Bond thing. The 007 franchise.
Absolutely. I need to give them a call. I'll call
Yeah.
them in my British accent. You know?
Call them up. Call them up. All right. Well, anybody else have any questions? Ryan, I know we've kept you a little bit. Anything else you want to talk about? See any questions? I know you sent me one more track. I don't know if you're feeling that. You want to take a request? What you got?
I mean, I'm happy to answer questions, man. I'm just doing dad stuff around here, teaching my 7-year-old not to touch the thermostat. You know, turn the lights off after everybody leaves every room. You know, just doing dad stuff, and then making music.
I hear you, man. We're in the throes of it too. You know, are schools open in South Carolina?
They are. This is the first time both of my children have been in school, and I don't know if we discussed this or not, but the first time that I've had days to finally get into routine, because my youngest, she's 2, Mickey's 2, and you can't take your eyes off her. I mean, she's chaos.
Yeah.
She's a maniac. So now that I have, my daughter catches the bus at 6:50, and they're in school at 7:30, which is great. So now I can start to get back into routine and actually
Things dreams are made of.
be healthy and get things accomplished, you know, and a lot of it is music. So I have a punk rock band that we have about 4 or 5 songs that are almost finished now, called the Oxen 3.
Yeah.
And this is much more of I sent you that Turnstile. If people aren't familiar with Turnstile, are you familiar with that band?
I'm not, but I listened to what you sent me. I put it on when I was making tacos for Taco Tuesday, and my wife was like, "You're getting the boys too amped up here."
Okay, so this is what really there's some bands that really knocked me out, and Guns N' Roses was one of them, because I moved from Pittsburgh for my whole family to Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I was 12 to 18, and those are formidable years. So for me, musically, instead of having cousins and brothers and everyone else give you influence, it was a whole new growing up. And Guns N' Roses kicked my ass because of the danger, but then there was the Beastie Boys and Check Your Head. I had on repeat. I bought the hat, Check Your Head. And what I loved about it is you had the punk rock, thrasher, hardcore, and then you had hip hop, and then you had soul, and it just had so many. It was so diverse, and you could do it all. You didn't have to be like, I'm only hip hop, I'm only punk rock. Like I really felt like they were breaking ground, and that resonated with me. I was like, I think that's why Humphreys were able to do the whole spectrum of genres of music, so we're just not locked into, pigeonholed into one sound. And I love that the Beastie Boys were doing that, and I loved it. I played that CDs had just come out, you know. I played that.
Check
CD
Your Head is
repeat.
Unbelievably good.
It's
I'm looking at the track list right now and remembering just,
and it's
oh my
deep.
God,
it's like
dude.
Tracks 18 through 22 are still good, you know.
Yeah, dude, there's so many hits on here. Oh, you're bringing me back. You're bringing me back.
There's a lot of good stuff, actually. I mean, the 80s is my favorite, but there was a lot of good stuff happening in the 90s. I saw a lot of good music. Man, I saw Rollins Band open for the Lynch Mob, open for the Beastie Boys, the Check Your Head tour in Kalamazoo on a Wednesday. Saw Nirvana when I was grounded because I wasn't allowed to go out, but my parents were gone. I told them I was going to a study group, and I went and saw the In Utero tour right before he died. And was front row in the pit for Nirvana, so I got to see that, and that's Kalamazoo on a Wednesday. I mean,
how was that?
Insane. I mean, it was hilarious because I came home without a shirt and like blood and blue hair, and like, oh, study group was great.
It was art. It was art.
It was art class. Yeah, I mean, it was intense. It was intense. Right up front, went over the wall a few times, and then you always you got escorted by security. You have to cover your ears because you go right by the PA, you know, and then go right back into the pit and crowd surf and back over right in front of them. It's crazy.
Oh my God, that I would have loved to see Nirvana. I was definitely a Nirvana kid for sure, but I never got to see them. Deuce, thanks for the 5. Do you like J metal? I'm not even sure what J metal is. You know the Love Bites Scream for Me?
I can't say I do, but I'll definitely dig and check it out.
Let's take a live reaction from you.
I like the avatar there too.
Oh yeah, dude! Have you used StreamYard before?
No, I'm a virgin.
Yeah, dude, it's great. It takes their whole thing and brings it up, and they can do emojis.
Oh, cool.
All right, Scream for me live. Let's see how this goes. Thank you, Deuce. Pull this up. See what the hell this sounds like.
Do you know where they're from? Oh,
looks like he means J like Japanese metal.
Japanese?
Yeah. See,
again, Jake has gone down this YouTube hole before, and I've been exposed to it because of Jake. Big shout out to Jake, man. He digs the deepest of us all by far. And I love when he shares it. So I think I am familiar. I don't know specifically if it is this one. I assume this is Metal by Japanese Girls.
Well, if you ever get a chance to talk to Jake, remember that he agreed to come on the show and share some tracks. He's been hard to track down.
I think I have his number, so
I think you probably have his number. I'd be so curious to know, like, what he would choose to bring.
Dude, yeah, I'll give him a shout and tell him I did this, and I'm sure he would love to do it. The guy is an endless well. That is an endless well of creativity and musical knowledge.
Yeah, I took a lesson with him for an hour, and it was like a whirlwind, an absolute whirlwind, like an incredible treat. But I've been trying to track him down since then. So yeah,
and just so people know too, Lively, golively.com, you can take lessons.
That's where I did
Jake. Yeah. But if people here want to go down the well of Jake's mind, he's available.
And Bayless does it too, right? Do you?
Yeah, I do it as well. Not nearly as much as the guitar players. Chris is also on there, and
cool.
Joel is also on there. Yep.
Love it. Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Clap your hands.
Proper rock bass stance.
Yeah.
Come on. You guys ready to scream? Come on. Roll it.
Oh my God, with the Big Dean.
Yeah. Dime bag.
Let me see your hands. Hold on. Scream for me.
A lot of people there.
Yeah, man. That sounds good.
I wonder, is she gonna go guttural, or I'm curious to see what her lead. Whoa!
I know. I'm ready for the. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I would go see this. I would definitely go see this. And I majored in Japanese and lived in Japan, so I mean, this is hitting home.
Is that true?
If they are Japanese, excuse my if they're not, then I apologize. But yeah, that is true. I lived in Japan, and it was one of my majors from school. And then after I graduated with marketing and Japanese, I was like, let's get this band thing, give it a shot. And if it doesn't work out, maybe I'll move to Japan and work on my marketing Japanese degree and do something with music. Hopefully, that was the backup plan. But yeah.
How did you end up going down that road?
Okay, long story short, when I went to Notre Dame, I thought I was going to be a neurosurgeon, and I didn't do well in the pre-med classes because I guess you're supposed to attend them, but I was always at band practice, so that didn't work out well. And then they said, "Hey, you're not doing so hot in the GPA here, pal. You need to pick you might need to pick a new major." And I had always relatives, my grandfather in the war, Japanese Americans. I was fascinated with the language. I always loved languages and the culture, so I chose Japanese and I chose business, and aggressively went for both of those majors, all while trying to start a band with Bayless. And when that was done, we all moved to Chicago, and then we never really put in a resume to get real jobs because we lived in the band house and just started playing and writing. And then Humphreys, didn't look back. Kind of blessed for that. But that was the backup plan, was Japanese.
So how many years were you in Japan?
I was only there for a summer.
Okay.
And we had Glenn Brady was the fill-in bass player for me for that summer while they were all writing songs, like Der Blutencut. Some of those songs were written while I was in Japan. And then I came home and learned them all from a cassette tape because Joel flew over to see me, and we climbed Mount Fuji in T-shirts and shorts. Don't recommend that.
Yeah.
And he gave me a cassette tape, and I like tabbed it all out and wrote it all out. My downtime, and came home. We played a show, like a few days later. Reunited with the boys at Notre Dame, played a show, and played those new songs with like one rehearsal that I just learned from a cassette tape over in Japan. So I was there for 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
Cool. I've never been over there. I've always wanted to go.
Yeah, Humphreys played the Fuji Rock Fest in 2006. Unbelievable.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. All right. Well, all right. Let's take one more question. Joe, can you share how many new tunes are tracked?
I can. I don't know what I'm allowed to tell, and I don't know what the strategy for release is, but we are very close to having 2 records done. One of them is 2. Yeah, one of them special. You've heard a lot of the tunes. Some of them you haven't, or the arrangements. And then the other one, we have 16 new songs, and we've got, I think, 12 to 14 of them almost finished for a new record. But I don't know because of COVID. I mean, I just play bass and sing in a British accent, so I don't really know what the release strategy is. And I could bullshit with you and tell you lies, but I don't know when it would be released. I mean, I don't know what makes sense. Do you release it for a tour? We're not touring. Do you just put it out? I can't answer those questions right now. But we're getting close to having all of that new material finished. And then what's great is the songs that don't make it to the record are still worthy of playing. So I hope that we're going to add those to the list. And then when you do see Humphreys in hopefully 2021 and in 2022, the catalog will be extended thoroughly, I hope.
Right on.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, MJ Heller. Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. Haji Mamashte is like, it's like nice to meet you, but it's Haji is the beginning. It means the beginning. Like if you were taking a Latin root, the root word for in Japanese, and that was the first song Bayless and I wrote together. So
Gotcha.
It was the beginning. Still one of my favorite songs, and we play live now. We definitely trimmed the fat from the song written in 1998, but it's still in heavy rotation.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, you wanna play your last track before we call it an evening here?
What is the last track?
It's the Jaco.
Absolutely. So here's the thing too. I grew up. I wasn't necessarily a musical family, but I played piano since I was 5, and I wasn't enjoying classical training or music. So I was starting to lose interest. I really wanted to learn, jazz or ragtime or pop songs. And I had a teacher who's teaching me Lionel Richie, who was great. So then I got into high school, and I wanted to pick up chicks, so I bought a guitar.
Sure.
I wasn't very good at guitar, and then when I came to Notre Dame, I was in a band, and I was in a bunch of bands earlier playing guitar and kind of switching around. But when I met Bayless, he owned a banjo and had long hair, and I gave him my Les Paul, which is sitting behind me, the same Les Paul, and a little PV Bandit. It's actually over in the corner over here. And I was like, listen, I'll go buy a bass. I'll play bass. So I was just, I was really green. And I didn't know who Jaco Pastorius was. I didn't know Mingus. I didn't know all the greats. I knew Nirvana, and I knew Guns N' Roses, and I knew like listening to pop music, and I knew what the bass was, but I didn't know anything about it, especially a deep dive. And then every bass player takes that deep dive on Jaco, the greatest of all time. And I just liked something about the way his mind worked when he did solos, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful just to see, and his playing, his tech, everything about it is just outstanding. So I'm fortunate enough to know his son Felix, who's a beautiful human being, and was fortunate enough Felix let me play the bass of Doom. He had it before it was shipped out to California. So that was a magical moment in my life, like goosebumps immediately, and then holding it and then playing it and then playing like a Jaco lick on it. Yeah, and just playing it on it was amazing. Forever thankful for that. But yes, I mean we have to, because in my 20s that's when I started discovering bass players and diving down that well, and Jaco was a big part.
Awesome. So let's pull this up. So this is
Germany 78. I think this one.
A Portrait of Tracy. Let's do it. Everybody, thanks so much for hanging out, and thanks for joining us. We're going to let this play us out. I really want to say thanks again to Ryan. Like, you're the man at the end of this. Just hang tight. Mods, thank you for all that you do. You make this a safe and awesome and memorable place. Thank you for everybody that joined as a new member tonight and that found us for the first time and subscribed. Let's take it out here. This is Jaco Pastorius playing A Portrait of Tracy.
Thank you, guys.
You too, Sarah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fishy.
Amazing.
This is unbelievable. I've never watched this.
And there's Portrait of Tracy. So it says Portrait of Tracy, but I think that's all he plays of the actual song. The rest he's quoting and yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it literally sounds like an organ.
Yeah, he's a mad scientist. It's beautiful. It's awesome. I dug deep into this well. A funny story. At the very end, I'll tell you. I think that is the end there.
Yeah.
When Humphreys moved to the band house, and we practiced in the basement. We lived on the first floor, and Joel was on the second floor, and in a brownstone in Chicago. You're real close to the neighbors, like that much between your window. And I'd have my window open, and I got my first Jaco book, and I remember playing for hours every day trying to learn these songs and these riffs. And our neighbor came over and rang the doorbell, and he had a shirt on that said, "I hate your band," with a guy with a middle finger up. And he goes, "Can you tell Jaco to fucking turn it down?" And Farrag answered the door, and he came in. He's like, "Yo, Jaco, can you turn it down?" I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Dude, this is hilarious." The neighbor just came over with a "I hate your band" T-shirt, like a smiley face giving it. So we always bring that one up. It's like, "Yo, tell Jaco to turn it down." But that's when we were all shedding. You know, Brendan and Jake would come. They lived over in Wrigley, and they'd walk over, and we would just practice all morning for like 8 or 9 hours, and then go out at night in Chicago, and then repeat.
Dude,
rage, rest, repeat. So hey, thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. This has been fantastic and a lot of fun, and all the listeners and everybody involved, mods. Thank you.
Oh,
guys.
dude, it's absolutely my pleasure, and I just just want to say again that I've really enjoyed getting into your bands, and I appreciate you coming on here, and I can't wait for real life to resume, because you guys were supposed to come play at Pier 6 in my town, and whenever that happens again, you bet your ass I'll be there.
Nice.
I'm very much looking forward to seeing you guys and doing this again anytime you want, and again when your Doom Flamingo track drops, make sure you ping me and let me know.
We'll do the 19th, so I'll let you know, man. Again, thank you, and thanks everybody. Appreciate it.
All right, stay right there. Thanks everyone.